Welcome back to my channel. Today I have the results of another experiment you've been asking for in the comments. This time I'm testing whether seawater combined with sunlight can lighten hair of different colors. Not only blonde, but also brown and black hair. We all know that during summer holidays hair often gets lighter. UV rays gradually break down the pigment in hair, and salty water, at least in theory, could enhance this effect. So I decided to find out how much this actually works and whether darker hair such as brown on black can lighten as well. For this test, I've prepared several types of hair samples. The strands marked with white are the ones I will be testing with seawater and sunlight. The blue strands will be exposed to plain water and sunlight, and the beige one to sunlight only. Of course, there is also a control sample marked brown, to which I will compare all the other samples. I'm starting the experiment by preparing the seawater. I made it by mixing 200 ml of distilled water with 1 tablespoon of sea salt. Use warm water to dissolve the salt completely. I mix it well and pour it into a spray bottle for easier application. Now it's time for the first exposure to sunlight. First, I'm placing the samples that will only be exposed to the sun. I sprayed the blue samples with plain water, while the white ones with freshly made seawater. I laid all the hair samples out as flat as possible to ensure that the largest surface area was exposed to the sun. The samples stayed in the sun for anywhere from 1 hour to a few hours. Afterwards, I washed the strands with a gentle shampoo and left them to dry. Since I didn't notice any difference after the first day, I continued the applications, and here you can see how the hair looks after 5 sun sessions. As you can see, the blonde hair is slightly lighter compared to the control sample. For the brown hair, the difference is very small and hard to notice at this stage. For the black hair, I see no difference at all. The strands tested with water and sun show slight lightening in the blonde and brown hair, while black hair stays the same. It's similar with the samples exposed to only sunlight. Subtle lightening for blonde and brown, but no change for black hair. I continued the experiment, and after 20 sun sessions, the difference became much more noticeable. The effect on blonde hair is very clear. It's definitely lighter compared to the control sample. The hair got a golden tone, and in some places there are very light, almost platinum highlights. Compared to the blonde samples exposed only to sunlight, the difference is not dramatic, but the seawater samples seems to have more bright highlights. The same goes to the sample treated with plain water and sun. Looking at all the blonde strands together, the seawater plus sun and sun-only strands are the lightest. On brown hair, there is also a clear lightening compared to the control. The strand is lighter and has golden highlights, but when compared to the strand exposed only to sunlight, the results are very similar. I would even say that the sun-only strand looks lighter than the seawater strand, which also appears more matte. The water plus sun strand looks quite similar to the sun-only strand. When looking at all the brown hair strands together, it's clear that the contour is much darker. Interestingly, strands treated with sun only and water plus sun look lighter than the one treated with seawater and sun. For black hair, the effect is hardly noticeable. Just like with the brown hair, the sun only and water plus sun strands are noticeably lighter than the seawater plus sun strand. As a bonus, I have a comparison with the hair strands treated with lemon juice and sunlight from the previous experiment. Both samples were exposed to the same amount of sunlight and for the same time. It's clear that the lemon juice plus sun samples are much lighter, especially for brown and black hair. There is also a visible difference in hair condition. The strands treated with seawater and sunlight are dull, and to the touch they feel very rough and dry. I have to mention that those samples are in the worst condition of all from the experiments I've done so far. Seawater leaves a salty layer on the hair when it dries, which dehydrates the strands. The salt crystals left on the surface also scatter the light in different ways, which means the hair doesn't lighten as much as you might expect. All methods of lightening hair, especially in combination with sunlight, can dry out the hair and damage it if you don't take proper care of it. But this experiment showed that salty water is so far the worst option for lightening. Sunlight alone or drying wet hair in the sun gives the same or even better lightening results without damaging the hair as much as seawater does. So during holidays, it's better to avoid soaking your hair in the sea or ocean. And if you can't avoid it, it's a good idea to have a bottle of fresh water with you to rinse out the salt immediately. Let me know what do you think of this experiment and whether you expected those results. Thanks for watching and see you soon, bye!